All right, we're going to get into a topic today that's, well, it's tough, but it's absolutely necessary. We're talking about how houses of worship can prepare for an active threat. This is all about having a plan to keep your community safe without, losing that welcoming spirit that's at the very heart of what you do.
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. How do you balance being a sanctuary, a safe haven, with the realities of security? It's the central challenge, isn't it? So today, we're going to walk through a really clear framework, from proactive planning to life-saving actions, to help figure that out.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts long before a crisis ever happens. We call this the before phase. This is all the foundational work, the mitigation, the prevention, the preparedness. This is where safety truly begins.
At the very center of all this preparation is something called an Emergency Action Plan, or an EAP. Think of it as your playbook for safety. And this can't be some generic template you download. No, it has to be a plan that's specifically tailored to your building, your people, and your community.
So what actually goes into a solid EAP? Well, for starters, you need a crystal clear way to report emergencies, and you need detailed evacuation routes mapped out. You've got to have key contact info ready to go. But listen, this is the most important part. This plan has to be developed with input from your local law enforcement. They're an absolutely essential partner in this.
You can have the best plan in the world, but it's pretty much useless without practice. Training is what builds muscle memory, so when things get chaotic, people can act without having to think. Running mock drills with law enforcement, that is, hands down, the best way to get your staff ready to react fast, to understand their options, and to adopt that survival mindset they're going to need.
Okay, so now we have to shift gears into the during phase. If the unthinkable happens, if an active threat occurs, all that planning and training suddenly kicks into high gear. This is about those immediate, life-saving decisions you have to make in the moment.
In the middle of that kind of chaos, your mind is just going to be racing. But preparedness is what cuts through the noise. Federal guidelines have boiled down your response into 3 core options. Knowing these by heart, well, it can save lives.
The very first and the absolute best option is to run. If you see a clear path to safety, you take it. And notice the details here because they matter. Leave your stuff behind. Keep your hands visible so you're not mistaken for a threat, and call 911 only when you are safe. Your #1 priority is getting away from the danger. Now, if running just isn't an option, your next move is to hide. This means you get out of the shooter's line of sight, you secure your location by locking or barricading the door, and this is so important, you silence your cell phone. And I mean completely silent, not even on vibrate. That little buzzing sound can give away your location. And the final option is to fight. Let's be very clear. This is an absolute last resort. This is only for when your life is in immediate, imminent danger. It means you act with physical aggression, you use whatever you can as a weapon, and you commit 100% to that action. Your life depends on it. Okay, so when law enforcement gets there, their first job, their only job at first, is to stop the threat. They may even run past injured people to do that. Your job is to stay as calm as possible, follow every single instruction they give, and keep your hands visible. It's all about helping them secure the scene for everyone.
The immediate threat might be over, but the work is far from done. Now we enter the after phase. And recovery is about so much more than just physical rebuilding. It's about healing the community and actually learning from what happened to become stronger and safer.
In the aftermath of an attack, there's a real risk of something called disaster backlash. It's this misplaced blame and anger that gets directed at entire groups of people who might be associated with the attacker. A leader's job is to get out in front of that and directly counter it by promoting tolerance, unity, and understanding. That is absolutely essential for a community to really start to heal.
Healing also means learning. Creating an after-action report isn't about pointing fingers or assigning blame. It's a tool for an honest look at what happened, what worked, what didn't. You take that analysis and you use it to improve your emergency action plan. You turn a tragedy into a catalyst for making everyone safer in the future.
Okay, so let's try to bring all of this together now with some key takeaways and some great resources you can use to start or continue your own preparedness journey.
The Department of Homeland Security has this simple but really powerful framework. Connect, plan, train, and report. That's it. That's the whole proactive cycle in just 4 words. Connect with your partners, plan your response, train everyone on that plan, and report concerns. It's a continuous loop of readiness.
And while we've been focused on active threats, being truly prepared means having an all-hazards approach. And this number is a powerful reminder of that. Get this, between 1996 and 2015, 51% of incidents at houses of worship were actually arson. A good EAP doesn't just plan for one kind of threat. It plans for everything, from fire to floods to severe weather.
The good news is you are not in this alone. There's a ton of great no-cost information out there from federal agencies. I'm talking detailed guides on creating EAPs, online training courses. These resources can give you the expert guidance you need to build a really solid plan for your community.
And that really brings us to the final question you have to ask yourself. Is your congregation prepared? Because preparedness isn't a box you check once. It's an ongoing commitment to the safety and the resilience of your community. It's about being a ready congregation. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.